Good morning, Mike Hitchwa. How are you?
Very good. It's good to be here at Oracle World.
Yeah, it is. What a great show we're having. It's we've all week long, lots of great interviews, lots of activity and new announcements.
Lots of customer interest, and Larry's very exciting announcement about the autonomous database. It's great direction for the Oracle database community, great direction for Oracle, great direction for our cloud.
So, give me your perspective on the autonomous database. What is the autonomous database?
So from my side, what you traditionally would have is you'd buy an Oracle database or any database, and then you would have to manage that. And so then your job of managing that database was to be as efficient as possible and automate as much as possible. So you would develop scripts and techniques and get Enterprise Manager and all these things to make your life easier. And now we've reached this point with a generation or iteration of software where all the automation, it just kind of takes over, and you don't need to have a human saying, yes, I think I should back my database up, and yes, I think I should do X, Y, or Z.
Right.
It can be autonomous, it can make those things. And that jump from human directed to fully autonomous has just many advantages. It opens up, I'm a developer, right? So from a developer's perspective, it's really great because the computer's not going to tell me, no, you can't do that. It's going to say, of course, Mike, I'd be happy to give you a database instantaneously. I don't have to wait. I can do it at 10 at night. I can do it in Hong Kong. I can do it anywhere I want to. So I don't have to curry favor with my favorite DBA to have them do something for me. Anyway, so there's a number of dimensions to it. I just think that having this true service that's just fully automated is just going to be a game changer.
Oh, good. Well, a lot of buzz about it, a lot of excitement.
There is, and I was wondering that maybe the customers would take it badly or something like that, but I think that there really is very strong interest in it, and a lot of people see the value instantly. Maybe the self-driving cars have that perked people's interest, or they've realized that the world of the future is going to have a lot of autonomy in it and a lot of things that take care of themselves.
Right. Well, good. So what else is happening with let's talk a little bit about Exadata Express.
Yes, I want to talk about Exadata Express. Not everyone knows what Exadata Express is, and it's interesting in that it runs on Oracle's premier hardware platform, Exadata, so you get Oracle's best hardware with highest availability, but yet it's our lowest cost database cloud service. And so it kind of has this odd dichotomy of being both. But what it allows you to do is it gives you access to, we have these newer shapes now. As of about a week ago, before you could only have up to 50 gigabytes, but now we offer up to a terabyte of storage. And before we would only offer one OCPU, and now we offer up to 4. So we're substantially larger and more capable, and we have a low introductory price of $175 a month, so it's a very attractive price point. Another differentiator with Exadata Express, people might not know, is it is fully managed. So if you're a DBA and you want to SSH the box, this would not be your service.
Right.
So what it is that the database is just taken care of by Oracle. Oracle backs it up, Oracle recovers it, Oracle upgrades it. You don't get to choose when your upgrades happen. Oracle chooses that for you. Right now we're on our latest database 12.2. When we go to 18, Oracle will select a time and do that. So there are some trade-offs, but what's nice about this is if you're running something like Oracle Application Express or some platform like that, it provides a very, very nice platform. There's just no worries. Just Oracle has everything. I'm not going to call it fully autonomous because I think to be fully autonomous, it needs to make a few more decisions. And I think Larry said our fully autonomous database would be next calendar year for our OLTP style databases. Decision support coming in December. Yeah. So I want to just kind of cover a couple more things about Exadata Express. So Oracle has a number of customers that might be using, let's say, Oracle Forms on-premise. And they want to modernize, they want to have a web browser experience, they want to bring their applications that they built, bespoke custom applications, up to the latest internet standards. And Application Express provides this kind of seamless transition where they can use the people with the same skills. So I saw you were building an Apex application yesterday.
Wasn't it that great? Oh God, it was so fun.
And so, and if you are a SQL guru, you just gravitate towards Application Express
Sure.
because it really puts SQL front and center and lets you do everything you'd want to do in SQL, but visualize the data and update the data through a web browser. And so, but when you want to, let's say you had a forms application, you're running it on premise, and you want to move that to the cloud.
Right.
It's kind of like you can kind of kill two birds in one stone with the migration. So not only are you modernizing your infrastructure, moving to the cloud, saving money on administration overhead and burden, and shifting the burden of the administration to Oracle.
Right.
But you're also you can provide a seamless or reasonably easy migration to a much more modern platform that will be perceived as industry leading and modern, as opposed to Oracle Forms it was released close to 30 years ago.
Yeah. 30 years ago.
It's very good for 30 years old software. It's very good.
It still works, man.
It
it's
still does.
excellent.
Yes.
Oh, that's neat. All right.
And Oracle's latest version of Application Express is on the service. So not only do you get a database, but you get a fully configured mid-tier. So we run WebLogic. So we need WebLogic to facilitate access to Oracle Apex, and we need to be able to run Oracle REST data services, so you can do REST service publishing. So if you had data in your database, you wanted to publish as a REST service for consumption from any source, you could do that. So this platform not only comes with a database, but it comes with a full ecosystem. So it's really a solutions platform in a box. Granted, it's database centric, but it allows for full access. Additionally, for those that don't know, Exadata Express also offers full SQLnet access. The predecessor service was what we call the schema service, did not offer SQLnet access, so you couldn't run SQL Developer natively. You couldn't connect a JDBC application. You couldn't run but now that we support SQLnet, any application pretty much ever written for databases is going to work just fine with the service as well. It's a huge, nice feature, and.
New shapes. New
shapes are big. That's a real big thing for us. You get most of the features of Enterprise Edition, so you get compression as well. So our largest shape is 1 terabyte, but if you compress that and conservatively get 4x, it'd be like a 4 terabyte database. That might not be big enough for you. It's our smallest database, but it does go up to a 1 terabyte uncompressed, and if you run compression, you can do better. So
nice.
I think that's it's a great value. It's a great sort of way to kick the tires of the cloud and see if you like the self-managed databases.
Now it usually has the most recent and supported version of Oracle database on Exadata Express, right?
That's right. And so not only the database software is maintained, Application Express is maintained, Oracle REST Data Services is maintained. So all of them is latest and greatest. It might be a month or 2 months delay in picking things up just to make sure that everything goes well, and we have a full battery of tests. So that's one of the nice things that we have is that with our particular architecture, we make sure that we fully test it and make sure everything's good. And if anything ever happens, you just call support and we can rectify it instantly. So we're available 24/7. So it's different. It's not for everybody, but it's sort of a window into the future of application development.
Yeah. So where do you develop? Do you have a workspace on some server?
We develop in our private
garage?
cloud inside. We get internal development VMs, but it would be interesting to move. One of the things we, as developers, sometimes we like to be able to have full control of the database and such, and we need to test older versions and newer versions. But when we deploy into the Oracle Cloud, so and then we cede the control. So as a developer, sometimes I like to, and with Application Express, for example, you can develop on your notebook, you can develop on a private server, you can develop anywhere you'd like. Oracle XC, our free database, develop there, sure. And but when you deploy it, and it has to work 24/7, it's nice to have a full team. And even if you were willing to support your own product internally to your company 24/7, you might not have every skill. What if the network went down? What if the web server went down? What if the database went down? What if there's an issue with the application? What if there's an issue with something? So Oracle brings expertise across the board and can involve development. It's just a whole holistic solution that we can bring to market at a very, very reasonable price.
Great. Well, thanks so much. This is part 1 because Mike has another section that we're going to do right now. So sit tight and we'll do our next section.
Okay.
We need to get that working. Okay, ready? All right. All right. And we're back with Mike Hitchroy again here at Oracle Open World. So, what else?
So it wouldn't be Oracle World without talking about Application Express.
Oh, thank goodness.
I wanted to talk about that.
Okay, good.
And right now we have our version 5.1. We've had a number of patches on that. So 5.1.3 is our latest and greatest. It's super stable, and the whole Apex 5 has really been a game changer for us. So we introduced this feature called Universal Theme, which provides a fully responsive user interface, so you can focus on writing SQL queries and deciding what your application looks like, and the actual CSS and HTML and JavaScript used to render the pages and modal dialogues and provide responsive and mobile support is all just kind of taken care of you for free. And so that's it's really increased the adoption and breadth of the Oracle Apex. Apex was always sort of popular, but it's kind of taken it to a new level. And so we're real pleased with that. And so with 5.0 and 5.1, we have a really solid base, and we're extending it now with Apex 5.2. It's not yet released. It's going to be released this fiscal year. But I wanted to kind of talk about what it's going to have. And I think, so some of the interesting things we're introducing is the ability to run SQL statements not only locally against the database in which Apex is installed in, but actually run against a remote database. And the way it works is to be fully transparent. So you might, and I saw yesterday you were creating applications, and you create applications that I'd like to create a report on this table or this SQL statement.
Right.
Now, sometimes you might be lucky enough that SQL statement is local on your database, but maybe you want to query data on another database, and what you can do is just say, you know what, my data isn't here. It's on this other location. Maybe you have an HR solution, a finance solution, an order management solution, and you want to have a single page that combines information from all of them. And you could just do that by selecting which your data source is, or Apex will manage the RESTful communications to the remote data sources and bring all that data back to you transparently. So now Apex can become kind of like a central hub, if you will. And so it opens up a whole new dimension. So before Apex was kind of limited to being able to develop.
You can continue. You can continue. You can continue, Mike. Right. That's fine. Complete your thought.